Oh, I didn't see you there. Oh, crap. I didn't even know you were here. I did. That was all scripted. But no, really, Super Mario Maker 2. Have you played it? It's fucking good. It's really good. Like, it wasn't bad when it was on the Wii U. It was just no one owned a Wii U, so no one really played it. But now it's on the Switch, and a lot of people own the Switch, so that's good. If you're watching the VOD, this is the Truckcast, a little podcast type thing I do where I play either Euro Truck or American Truck behind it. I am doing this alone. The last 2 times I had Jack with me. This time I'm just going to be all alone. It's also been a while since I've last done this. Now, if you're someone watching the VOD and you ever want to join or interact with the stream, because I'm doing that now, I got tags on my streams. I'm actually screening with them. I added AMA, analysis, gaming news, and politics. Those aren't usually in the tags for Euro Truck, but I added them because I felt like it. But no, if you're someone who wants to join or interact with the stream, you can. I stream Foos200_3 on Twitch, and I announce whenever I'm streaming at Foos200 on Twitter, which I have already done. If you're one of the few people watching the VOD and you want to watch some of my other streams, probably not Euro Truck streams, but you can watch them anyway, I suppose. Yeah, but no, if you want to watch any of my other streams, you can just scroll down, click that little button that says Foos200 elongated, because that is my archive channel. Let's jump in. So yeah, we will be talking about Spider-Man, not Spider-Man. Well, we will be talking about Spider-Man, but that's not what I meant to say. No, Super Mario Maker. We'll be talking about that, I promise. Quick job. Where are we going today? We are going from Helsinki to some place in Sweden I do not know how to pronounce. Can I not zoom in any further? Okay, looks like this is the best we're gonna get, so I'll use that for the thumbnail. We're taking post packages? What the hell is that supposed to mean? I don't have a clue. If you're new to the Truckcast, we go over all sorts of stuff, like gaming news, movies, politics, just anything in the name of God I want to talk about. But first, I usually go over what's changing in my channel, or what I've posted in the last week or so on my channel, because ideally I do this once a week, but, well, considering the last one was maybe 2 or 3 months ago, I wouldn't necessarily say that's 100% true. But no, we're in Helsinki right now, driving to Sweden. You gonna let us out, Mr. Gate Operator? Wow, the game audio is really low. I'm gonna have to turn that up a little. I wonder why it's so low. Oh, it's probably because I had guests the other time, and, you know, I didn't want to drown them out with game sounds. That would make sense. Okay, and we're off. So yes, like I said before, first I'd like to talk about what's been happening on my channel. And what has been happening on my channel? Well, the fucking thumbnails are getting better. You know, I've been thinking about this even before I recently changed the thumbnails, and I was like, if you judged my channel completely off of my thumbnails, you'll think I'm some sort of, like, amazing professional person. Because my thumbnails, oh, you better not run into me. Thank you. That was my bad, by the way, but thanks anyway. But, because my thumbnails are just something to witness, something to behold. They're great. But I've improved them even further. My thumbnails from this point onwards will have depth. And by that, I get that doesn't mean much sense. Take, for example, the 2 thumbnails that I've done this with so far. I did one for GTA, which is going up Monday next week. And it's got a guy kind of flailing his arms in the air. Well, my name and the game logo are behind one of the guy's arms. You can clearly distinguish what the game is and what my name is. Um, but it's just ever so partially covered up by the guy's arm. I think it's like the last zero in Voost 200 is covered up by his arm. So, but it just adds so much depth because it's like the logo and my name is in the game. It's just slightly behind him. And example number 2, I'm not gonna say what I'm doing. Goes up tomorrow, but it's kind of a spoiler since I've been meaning to do this for a while now, and I think some of my friends have actually been looking forward to it. But essentially, the thumbnail has 2 guys hugging, and I decided to put the logo of the game and my name right behind the 2 guys hugging. So it just barely covers up any of it, but it just makes the thumbnail that much better. What else? Well, yesterday, I'm moving slowly. Wait, no, that's not yesterday. That went up today. We're not going to talk about that one. Last week, I did a Tuesday video, and it was every word in How Much Is the Fish, but it's a Google image. Now, I realize that that's not going to get very many views, because any American doesn't know how much is the fish is. So let me take you on a little story. I'm going to make a video on this later on down the line, but I figured I might as well tell you about this today. But no, let me tell you about a little story. It's a story about how my buddy and I found Jesus himself in a German sort of form. We were playing a game we like to call look up random shit on school computers and hope you don't accidentally find pornography. It's usually nothing major, and we don't usually find pornography. Sometimes we do by accident, but it's not that common. But it's usually just like gibberish. Like, let me just think of something. Poster or dresser in my water bottle is something we might look up. Well, somehow we managed to look up how much is the fish. And, well, how much is the fish is the name of a song by a lovely man known as H.P. Baxter and his band known as Scooter. Now, like I said before, I'm not going to go too in-depth with this because I plan on making a video on it later on down the line. But essentially, Scooter has some of the best songs, and I've been listening to them for the past half a year or so because they're genuinely just so stupid, every single one of them. And apparently he's a big name in Germany, you know, and he sings in English, but he's a big name in Germany. There's also one song where he sings a bit in Spanish, but that's besides the point. He's also insane when he's not doing his songs. Like, we follow him on Instagram. He took a picture of a wall, and in the caption he said, "My man Harvey, I told him not to be wearing that." And it's just a picture of a wall, and people are starting to, like, does he have, like, an imaginary friend or something? And almost every single one of his songs are, like, a cover in some way, shape, or form. He has a song called The Logical Song, and if you know anything about music, you probably know The Logical Song was originally a Supertramp song. Well, he took said Supertramp song, increased the pitch so it's really high, because he does lots of techno stuff. He is German after all, so he has a whole bunch of techno stuff in the background. And then in between the Logical Song, he tends to, like, shout and say random words. Throughout the entire song, he has a weird obsession with Siberia, and the Logical Song has absolutely nothing to do with Siberia, but he talks about Siberia anyway. He goes, "Siberia, the place to be. The K, the L, the F, and theology. Hallelujah." Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, the song has absolutely nothing to do with Siberia. Well, finally, I decided to pick one of his songs, and that's how I made Every Word is a Google image. Now, I went for that meme because that's a really easy meme to do, or at least I thought. That meme looks really easy to do, but good God almighty is it repetitive to edit. It took me like a month or two because I just do little tiny sections because I didn't feel like editing for 6 hours straight. I'm sure I could probably get a program to do it, but even that would be kind of hard because you'd have to somehow get it to recognize each individual word. But I could have gotten the program to actually find the image for me through the lyrics. That would have been easy. But I think that's about it for my channel. We're going to talk about Spider-Man Far From Home. Oh, wait, no. Forged in Flames. I made a Fallout video that went up last week. It got a surprising amount of views for Fallout videos, which is kind of odd. Someone commented, they said, the audio is really loud for me. I have no idea where they're coming from, because the audio is the same for every other video, for the most part. And the audio is fine for both on my computer and on my phone, so I don't know what he was on about. But if there's any other issues with that, please comment, because I'd like to know if my entire audio is screwed up. Spider-Man Far From Home was released recently. I don't know if it was in the last week, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. I think it was in the last week. I saw it last night. If you've read the title, and if you're about to listen to everything I'm about to say, you're going to think I absolutely hate the movie. I have a bad habit with doing this for both games, movies, books, God knows what, where I only point out the negatives, and I have a really hard time pointing out the positives. So let me start this off by saying it was a really good movie. I suspected that the MCU was just going to go downhill after Endgame, but no, I thought this was really good, and I thought it was better than Spider-Man Homecoming. I don't know if most people feel that way, but at least I thought it was better than Spider-Man Homecoming. We're also about to head into spoiler territory right here. But I'm going to point out some of the negatives, some of the flaws. First of all, I was about to say something. What the hell was I about to say? Okay, first of all, the odd CGI was kind of odd in some places. It was less the monsters. I didn't have a problem with those. Also, if they ever looked odd, you can say, well, it made sense in universe for them to be odd. So, why the hell not? What got me is every once in a while they'd be on like a roof, or they'd be in a I cannot speak. They'd be on like a roof, or they'd be in a building, and you'd look out the window. Whatever was outside the window looked so fake. And not only that, at times it wasn't even consistent with what was going on outdoors. Screw you. Someone just got pulled over in Finland. Kind of hard to do, unless you're drunk, in which case, kind of common. That was a pretty minor complaint. My other complaint, and this one was a lot bigger, was the Nick Fury type thing. If you paid attention to the end credit scene, Nick Fury and Maria Hill weren't actually Nick Fury and Maria Hill for the whole fucking movie. They were Skrulls. Now, on one hand, that makes sense, and I like it. On the other hand, it doesn't make sense. It makes sense because, also, I'd like to point out, there was one line in the movie, and I wasn't really paying attention. Shit. We're gonna possibly listen to that later. Not you, though. That's the moment when I go into intermission time. There was a line earlier on in the movie, and I wasn't really paying attention. I didn't necessarily hear what they said, but they said something about the speed of a Kree thing when they were comparing it to something Mysterio was doing. I honestly do not remember. But I was like, okay, yeah, we know Nick Fury was there for Captain Marvel, but that could have made a bit more sense. Go away, nobody likes you. But no, it actually makes sense, since it was the Skrulls, that they would say something like that. Unless I'm completely imagining that line, which I very well might be. It also makes sense because everyone was like, Nick Fury's never gonna fall for Mysterio. And I continue to choose to think, yeah, there we go. I continue to choose to think that he wouldn't. And it makes sense. It was the Skrulls the whole time. It wasn't Nick Fury. So of course they would fall. Or be fooled by Mysterio. Nice little detail there. What I didn't like was Nick Fury was kind of badass, and he also had a lot of decent moments. Like, it kind of undermines some of the moments, the fact that they were Skrulls. For example, when Maria Hill shot down the drone with a rocket launcher, that's a very Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. type thing to do. What I said there didn't make much sense, but just trust me when I say that. And it was kind of cool, but they were Skrulls, so it kind of undermines it. Oh shit. Um, Second of all, what also undermines it was the whole "you don't ghost Nick Fury" type thing. Well, they weren't ghosting Nick Fury. They were ghosting people that act like Nick Fury. But I like how it all tied into Captain Marvel 2. I also like. I'm thinking what they plan on doing is they plan on catching up to the modern day. They're not always going to be 5 years ahead, because Spider-Man 3 is going to pick up directly, and I mean directly after Spider-Man Far From Home. And also, I'm assuming Captain Marvel 2 will be a prequel. I don't know. Oops, sorry about that. They have to explain somehow why Nick Fury was just on a Skrull ship. Like, there has to be just some little semblance of an explanation. But I think that's it. I'm gonna do a brief intermission because I actually do have to answer that phone call. So I'll see you in a moment. But then we're going to talk about gaming news. Ooh, how exciting. sorry about that. Did you just pick up? Wait a moment. Did the Steam... What? Okay, I think I'm just crazy. I thought for a moment there that the Shift-Tab Steam thing picked up on the stream, which it shouldn't do because I was doing game capture, not display capture, but it didn't. I was just going crazy. Okay, I didn't know I was going that fast when I tabbed out. Yeah, no, sorry about that. I had to do a brief intermission. What are we going to talk about here? Mario Maker 2. Why not? Mario Maker 2, I think, came out recently. I don't know if it was last week. It was probably before last week. But it came out, and I've been playing the hell out of it. As you can tell by the stupid intro thing I did. Oh no, we don't want this. I'm in the middle of an endless challenge level. This was a bad level to begin with anyway. I'm gonna skip this one. Yes, I am playing Mario Maker while driving a truck, while hosting a podcast. I'm skilled, okay? Ooh, this one has Japanese characters. I'm assuming, could be Chinese. I don't know if they sold this in China. Oh, this is an auto. Oops, 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 oops. I love how I accidentally found out that was an auto, because I had just left it on my lap. And I was going to start it in a moment while I was driving when I had cruise control going and I was ready. But no, it was literally an auto, so I didn't... It just started. We'll quit this. Oh, that's a roundabout. Yeah, I didn't have time to brake for that roundabout. We're going to quit out of this. Mario Maker is great, and if you have a Switch, I highly recommend it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a little treat to the people watching the VOD, and I'm going to give them my level codes. So if you want to play either of my 2 levels, you can. My first level ain't very good. Oh no, it's kind of short. My first level is kind of short. It's a decent level, but it is really just way too short. But it has more likes than my second level. My second level is kind of frustratingly hard at times, but I consider it a lot better. Clearly the people who played it don't, because they haven't liked it. I've gotten 2 likes to 15 plays on my first level, 0 likes to 5 plays on my second level. So, don't know what the deal is with that one. My first one is a castle level with the original Mario. It's pretty much self-explanatory. It didn't do much special. It's called Castle of the 2.5 Paths. And it does have 2 paths, and it also has a secret path. So there. And my second level is the Marijuana Trench. I love that name. It's stupid, but I love that name. I just wanted an excuse to make a water level, and it's doing the 3D Mario. But here's the code for the Castle of the 2.5 Paths. Also, the completion rate is 45%. It is, so if you're watching the VOD, you might want to slow down the video or pause or something. G1X SHY 1XG. And the code for the second one, the Marijuana Trench. What the hell just happened? I think my truck's mating. Can we get that clipped? What the hell just happened? Yeah, you're beeping at me. Look at the condition I'm in. What the hell just happened? Jitter, 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 jitter. Okay, we're gonna note that down because that might be in a compilation in the far future. What is this? Spider-Man Far From Perfect Truck Mate. That's what I'm putting down to remind myself of that. Clearly don't take your eyes off the road. I wonder how long ago the autosave was. Bet it was at the port. this one. Sure you would like to load another game? Yes, I am sure. So ignoring that, my second level. Oh, this was right after the roundabout, so this wasn't that long ago. The Mario on a Trench has a completion rate of 8.69%, and the code is 6H1S8KXTG. So yeah, Mario Maker's addicting, and some people have already, in that short of a period of time, have made some amazing levels. So I highly recommend you just go buy that. The Switch, slowly but surely, is becoming one of my favorite consoles. It was already a lot of people's favorite console. I just didn't have enough games I really wanted on the Switch. I'm waiting for fucking Animal Crossing New Horizons. Horizons? Yes, Horizons. No, Horizons to come out. That'll definitely become probably my favorite game on the Switch. Right now, I'd say my favorite game on the Switch is just Skyrim for the Switch, which is technically a port. My favorite exclusive... How many exclusives do I have on the Switch? I got Tetris 99, I got Conduct Together, that's an exclusive. I obviously have Mario Maker 2. I keep planning on getting Mario Odyssey, but I haven't yet. I got Super Smash Bros. That's an exclusive. Yeah, that's all my exclusives. The other games I have are L.A. Noire, Stardew Valley, and Minecraft. Stardew Valley being the game I've put the most hours into on the Switch. But no, looking at those exclusives, definitely Mario Maker 2 is my favorite exclusive. And it'll definitely have a spot on my top games this year. I don't have that many games this year that I'm going to put on that list. Only Mario Maker's the only one I can think of right now. There just haven't been that many good games this year. I know I'm eventually going to get Baba Is You. I'm going to try that one. I'm going to try, what's it called? Shit, I'm going to try Tropico 6. I've played a bit of Tropico 5, ages ago, but Tropico 6 has improved a lot, so I might try that one. Satisfactory, is that in early access, or is that out yet? I don't know, but that's been getting some coverage this year. One I know I'm gonna get eventually. I'm gonna get this game this year, but I don't know if this game is gonna come out of early access this year, so it might not be on my list. Colony Survival. Yeah, I didn't know much about this game, or that it even existed, until the Yogscast did a new series on it. They did series before that I never really watched, but they started a new series on it, and it actually looks decent. Like, imagine Factorio, but the art style is Minecraft, and rather than producing goods, you're managing a colony where they all have their own jobs and they all do their own things. That's Colony Survival for you. Also, Satisfactory is also Factorio. I guess it's just a lot of Factorio games. Not to mention, Baba Is You is very similar to programming. And Factorio... So I guess this year's the game about program. Oh, and Mario Maker. Mario Maker, you're making something. I'm starting to notice a trend. With the exception being, Tropico 6. I had some other games I marked down. Notable games. Here we go. Subnautica Below Zero. I believe that one's in early access. That one might come out this year. I enjoyed Subnautica. I never really got that far in Subnautica. But Subnautica I bought really, really, really early on. And I mean like 2 years before it came out. I mean, do you remember the terraforming tool? Because I remember the terraforming tool. Because I was there before the terraforming tool. Planet Zoo is definitely one. Because I have Planet Coaster, put a fair amount of hours into Planet Coaster, so I plan on trying Planet Zoo eventually. I think that's about it for this year. So yeah, there's not that many games I'm that interested in this year. Because last year, coming off of E3, all the games I wanted to play came out fall and December of that same year. This year's E3, all the games I want to play are coming out spring of 2020. Fuck you! Even though you had the right of way. I don't care if you had the right of way. I'm in a truck, so I always have the right of way. Can't deny that logic. Why is there a big funnel in the middle of the Uppsala? I'm not even gonna try and pronounce that. Why is there just a big funnel? You know, we're gonna do a bit of Googling, a bit of geography lessons. I'm gonna find out what that big funnel is. Uppsala. Does it have any pictures when I go into images of the big funnel? No, just a lot of pictures of this one church. Oh, green light, green light. Oop, I hit my mouse with my phone. Ha! I had the right of way. Oh, you're going left. Oh, so I didn't even have to worry about you. Whoops. What am I doing? What am I doing? Well, we're here. We're gonna deliver some cargo, so that's nice. First job over with. Only half an hour in. Oh, this Truckcast is gonna be a bit longer than usual. I'm moving kind of slowly. Haven't been streaming recently because I haven't been in a mood to stream, but I've been working on a lot of videos, doing a lot of editing. That's certainly gonna be exciting. Oh, come on! There's no way I could have gotten in there. Okay, this isn't gonna be the best one in the world because I had a few accidents along the way, ignoring the big truck mating session I had. That one doesn't count because I reloaded a save after that. And screw this, I don't need to park it. Oh, but I got excellent somehow. But I damaged my trailer. I know I damaged my trailer, in fact. How did I get excellent? Don't question it. Fragile cargo. How am I doing money-wise? 35,000. That is nothing. Absolutely nothing. Hamburg to... Hamburg? Why do I have... Hamburg? Why do I have Hamburg discovered? Going to world map, going to world map. Why do I have Hamburg discovered? I'm gonna make an assumption it was the dispatcher. What? Okay. And then the truck dealers I've discovered. And why do I have just one city in Poland? Where are those all the special transport missions? Why do I have Warsaw and Hamburg discovered? The only explanation I can think is maybe, just maybe, this is one of the special transport missions. Jobs, I should say, not missions. This isn't like a questing game. Oh, go fetch the golden... No, this ain't a special transport. See, now I've discovered Hamburg. Why was it discovered before? Euro Truck! This is unmodded Euro Truck, too. Euro Truck, why are you having issues all of a sudden? Why are you having issues? Also, this is an ugly-ass truck. Good God, it's got padding in it. Who puts padding in their truck? Also, who pulls up to a traffic light like that? I was about to check my phone. Oh no, that's right, I was doing Uppsala. I'm just gonna look up Uppsala funnel. Ah, here we go. It is a real thing. Vatten Torn. Flickr Hive Mind. Wait, no, Flickr's a website. Vatten Torn. Because I looked up a picture. It looks like a power plant that funnel was. So now we're going to look up Fat and Torn. I've opened up the Xbox game thing drive. I keep meaning to delete that because it takes up all of your. Okay, I'm looking at the the Wikipedia page is all in Swedish. It wasn't torn, and that's German. It looks like a power plant. Yep, it's a big funnel. Oh, it's a type of power plant. They all look like odd funnels. Some of them are disguised as buildings or towers. Hey, take me out of look at Wikipedia. Oh wait, no, it's a water tower. So I wonder why I thought it was. Oh, it's probably to catch water. That's why it's a funnel. I'm stupid. I'm really stupid. No, it's a water tower. It's just a type of water tower. But how come when I looked it up, it gave me a whole bunch of pictures of buildings? Just don't question it. Valve Index. Yes, Valve Index. A lot of reviewers finally got their hands on those. Actually, they got their hands on those beforehand. But more like a lot of reviewers finally submitted their reviews of the Valve Index. And apparently it's decent. I'm still waiting for more before I go out and get that. Because my original plan was I was going to get the original Vive. When it was just the original Vive. And then the Vive Pro got released. And I was left in a weird situation. But since the Vive Pro was so expensive, I was still just aiming for getting the original Vive. But now that the Index is out, I very well might get the Index instead of the original Vive. But like I said, it seems a lot better. People are complimenting the speakers a lot versus just having headphones. Apparently it's more comfortable and stuff, but it's all very minor changes for the price. But you also have to remember these are minor changes over the Vive Pro, not the original Vive. The Vive Pro is much, much better than the original Vive. So I don't know if that sways your opinion at all, but I think that's what I'm going to be getting because I still have yet to get any sort of virtual reality, even though that's quite literally why I built my computer. I built my computer based on the idea that eventually I was going to get some sort of virtual reality system. So what's next? Don't crash. Cube World. The developer of Cube World, it's actually a husband and wife making it, but the husband put on his Twitter updates for Cube World. Do you remember Cube World? God knows how long ago Cube World originally came out. You know, and it had one tiny little update, and then they were going to talk about it was going to be a major update with villages and stuff. Cube World's like a 2012, 2013 game. And everyone just thought it was abandoned. But no, it looks like they're still working on it for some reason. I'm dying. I'm going to have some liquid, but I'm going to wait till I'm on the road going a reasonable speed before I have some liquid. Stay hydrated, kids. Come on, pick up speed. Wonder if we're gonna end up getting on the Autobahn later on. Waka! I don't like him. Even though, technically, I merged in front of him when I shouldn't have done that. Do trucks still have a speed limit on the Autobahn? I don't remember. I honestly do not remember. Speed! Away we go. Were they gonna add something? I feel like I'm being stupid. They added Sardinia. Okay, I am playing the newest update. I was gonna say, so the newest update, they changed up Germany a little. Also, not to mention, they are doing a new DLC. It's called the Black Sea, I think, Beyond the Black Sea. I don't remember. Basically, it goes Bulgaria, Turkey, and Greece. I want to say. I don't know. I haven't been looking into it that much because I haven't been playing Euro Truck for a while. One thing I do know is they have keyboard support. If you got RGB keyboards, which I do, I got a lovely Razer keyboard. I had a much better keyboard at one point. I had a Corsair RGB keyboard, which was cost twice as much. It was also a mechanical keyboard, while this one isn't a mechanical keyboard. But when I realized it didn't have nearly as much game integration as Razer products, I switched to Razer, because my number one priority when it comes to a keyboard, and I think I'm insane, but my number one priority is game integration. I really enjoy having game integration on a keyboard, but that might just be me being insane. Um, but no, Euro Truck and American Truck both have game integration now. It's nothing extreme. I prefer Factorio and Just Cause 4's and Battlefield 5's game integration, but Euro Truck's is decent enough. What else do we have? Oh, Dr. Mario World. So, Nintendo's been doing a few apps over the past few years. There was Super Mario Run, there was Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, there was, of course, Pokemon Go, except Pokemon Go is less tied to Nintendo and a lot more tied to Niantic. I always enjoyed that, how right after Pokemon Go got released, Nintendo's stock went all the way up so much when Nintendo didn't necessarily make the most money off of Pokemon Go. It was all Niantic. But we're not going to question that. Nintendo made another app. It's called Dr. Mario World. And it was one of the worst things known to mankind. It's essentially like a Candy Crush ripoff with $65 microtransactions. So it's even worse than Pocket Camp. And I don't know how you can make something worse than Pocket Camp. But they managed to do that. So please, for the love of God, avoid Dr. Mario World at all costs. Next, Forza! Forza Horizon 4 is getting another update. This one's a free update. It is a Top Gear update. Like, they didn't need more to get me to just love Forza. Okay? Unfortunately, it's all new Top Gear, and it's not anything from the original Top Gear, which I would have preferred. Unless it is. I don't know. I haven't looked into it much. But I'm pretty sure it's all just stuff from new Top Gear. When's the Grand Tour update, Forza? Yeah, but they did a Top Gear update. And Forza Horizon 4, if you watched my top games of the year last year, you know it was one of my top games of the year, and it's my personal favorite racing game of all time. So, especially after the Lego DLC, they just absolutely want me to love this game, don't they? Because Top Gear's my jam. Why don't they do a Grand Tour update? That would be nice. What else? I'm drifting across the highway as I read notes. Sea of Thieves is going to have an update. It looks like just some unique missions, so I'm not too interested in that. That is it for gaming news. Now we move on to the lovely politics section. Ooh, politics. I'm sure you've all heard of this one. Nike released a new pair of shoes for the 4th of July, and said shoes had the Betsy Ross flag on it. Well, our good friend Colin Kaepernick here, who I'm not a big fan of, went out and told Nike that, hey, we shouldn't be selling these shoes because the Betsy Ross flag was used during the time of slavery. I'm going to hydrate myself real quick while you process how ridiculous that is. Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. And you know what Nike did? What's the reasonable response? Nike removed the shoes. I don't know what a world we're living in where you can associate something Okay, just because the Betsy Ross flag was used during the period of slavery doesn't make the flag itself bad. That logic is so beyond me. It's so stupid. Let me give you an example, okay? Also, we're gonna revolve this around slavery. um, the word plantation was often used in combination with slaves in the 1700s and early 1800s. If someone called something a plantation, it's safe to assume that it was slaves working that plantation. Does that mean the word plantation can't be used anymore? Because if you go to many South American actually, this is a really bad example because plantations technically do have lots of low wage workers currently. So I'm gonna just shut up on that example. Let's try a different example. Think. Okay. How about this? Benjamin Franklin was good friends with many people who possessed slaves. Does that mean we can no longer learn about Benjamin Franklin in a good sense? Does that mean technically, since he didn't stand up against slavery, that he's a bad person? Sorry about that. I'm thinking that's essentially what we're using here. These are all really bad examples, but this has been covered to death, this story, so I don't even think I need to voice my opinion at this point. And lastly, this is the last thing we're going to talk about today. There was a event going on in Detroit, which I should know a lot about. I live in Detroit, so technically not in Detroit. I consider myself when I meet someone from Wayne County or from around my area of Michigan, I say I live downriver. When I meet someone from within Michigan, I say I live downriver from Detroit. And if I meet someone, well, not usually if I meet someone, but if I'm talking online to someone from a different state, I say I'm from Detroit. And if I'm talking to someone from a different country, I say either one of two things. A, I say I'm from Detroit if they know what Detroit is. If they don't know what Detroit is, I go, and this is really sad, but it's the closest one I can think of. I go, so remember there was that city in the United States that had the water crisis, the lead in the water, and all the children got lead poisoning because lead in the water? Yeah, I live about 50 miles south of that place. A lot less than 50 miles. I'm going to say 40 miles, maybe. But yeah, that's the closest city that people usually know if they don't already know Detroit, which many of them do now because, well, it's become a bit of a joke, Detroit. I met one person once when I said I was from Detroit, and they go, from like Detroit become human? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, I thought Detroit was a fake city. And I'm like, no. No, Detroit's a real place. Believe it or not, Detroit does in fact exist, but I'm getting really sidetracked. There was an event, Afrofuture, I don't remember what it was called. It was some music event. I'm dying. And they decided that because it was essentially what they did was their explanation for this. So let me just say what they did. They are charging white people more than black people to attend the event. And their explanation for this is A, racism, and B, often events like this, tickets are bought out quickly when they're cheap and then sold for high amounts of money, so lots of people living in low-income areas, especially in Detroit, cannot afford them. I see this as they're taking two problems and they're just kind of shoving them together. Like, those are two. Oh, shit. I just shut off my engine by clapping my hands together. Those are two problems that do not need to be combined. And also, I'll say this a million times. This was the same thing when we had that one director that said he wouldn't cast any white male leads. You will not fix racism through racism. Fortunately, whatever website it was took that event down from the listing. A few people left that were originally going to perform at the event. They quit performing at the event, and this is all great. I agree with them completely. And I would start an argument here, but my voice is starting to die, and I'm getting really tired, so I'm just going to end this stream because I've been streaming for an hour, which isn't that much, but I don't know. I haven't streamed in a while. I'm kind of sick, and my voice is in my throat. If you enjoyed this and you want to watch more, you can. I stream Foos200_3 on Twitch, and I announce whenever I'm streaming at Foos200 on Twitter. If you're one of the few people that are watching the stream right now and you want to watch any other stream archives, you can just scroll down to the bottom where I have a lovely little button that says Foos200 elongated. Click that button and you will find my archive channel where I archive all of my previous and past streams. But otherwise, that is it for me. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video and or stream. Goodbye!